Thanks for joining us once again for Good Morning Vail. For the past 16 years, SOS Outreach has been helping kids develop character and leadership on the Hill. Now Michele Hartel is here to tell us what they're doing off the Hill. And that's the great thing about this program. You don't just stop when the snow melts and when the day is done. You keep these kids pretty much integrated in the community by giving back.
Yep, thank you, Tricia. So yeah, our big focus is on hooking the kids with one of the outdoor activities that we offer, and beyond the skiing and snowboarding and snowshoeing in the winter, we're also doing rock climbing and backpacking and hiking trips in the summer. And then we want to keep them involved through different service opportunities. So in exchange kind of for getting all of these adventure activities through us, we ask them to take a huge part in giving back to their community. And the longer the students are with us, the more say they get in what those projects look like.
And you know what, and that having that say and being involved and being able to really kind of steer the way this goes helps keep them hooked.
Oh yeah, and it's very empowering for them as well. It helps them feel a sense of success, a sense of value in their community, even at a young age, elementary and middle school age students.
Okay, now let's talk about some of these projects. I know you're doing quite a bit with the River Restoration Project.
Yes, so about 30 or so of our students have been working pretty intensively with the Eagle River Watershed Council, and they're taking part in one of the largest restoration projects in the country right now. They're restoring a section of the Eagle River near Lake Creek Village in Edwards, and they're working to narrow the river in order to help some of the overgrowth that's happened, some of the flooding that we see in the spring. They're trying to plant some plants along the riverbed there with the council, again, in order to narrow it and make the flow run a little bit quicker down that section.
And so that's for year 3 university. Year 4, they're working on application and vocational training.
Yes.
Tell us
so
about
for
this.
a few years we've been working with those kids in an off-hill capacity, doing some training on the career end of things, talking to them about what careers they might be interested in and what might be a good fit for them, and then having them go out and shadow different local businesses. Well, we've come to the conclusion, like many people out there, that most of the careers around today might not even be what our students, 5-10 years from now would be applying for. So we're focusing more on the advocation end, how to figure out what your passions are, what your strengths are, and then go out into the world. And they're going to be meeting a lot of community leaders that have made their advocations, their passions, their life's work, and then taking part in some kind of smaller projects to explore their personal passions.
Okay, and then the junior Sherpa and the alumni, the leadership development, I think that's what's really neat, is because they go back and they start teaching some of these kids things, and sometimes kids will listen to someone that's closer to their age group.
Certainly.
And be influenced by that person.
Oh yeah, and they are honestly one of my favorite groups of SOS students to work with, those junior Sherpas. We've had students with us for 10, 12 years who have recognized the benefit that they've gotten beyond just the skiing and the snowboarding, and they've come back to be trained as peer mentors, and they're starting to give back to the younger students in SOS. They're helping them out not only on ride days, but service projects, and they're also doing a leadership development program off-hill where they get to train intensively with community leaders.
Oh, that's so great.
We've done leadership lunches with Robcats and Seal Folks, some real prominent leaders in our community, and we're real eager to have those students get plugged in leadership paths.
Okay, and then this weekend at university, what's going on just this weekend alone?
Okay, we've got a huge weekend up here in Eagle County. We have our second ride day for the university program, which is our intensive multi-year program. We'll have about 175 students at Beaver Creek throughout Saturday and Sunday for that program, along with about 30 local mentors, volunteer mentors.
Oh, cool.
And then we also have our Learn to Ride program, which is how all of the local kids can get involved in an initial introductory program. We'll have about 60 of those students at Vail and Beaver Creek throughout both days. And we also have our introductory one-day program that we offer for Denver area students with the support of Vail Resorts. It's called Snow Course, so we'll have some of those students out as well.
Wow, busy times. All right. You can learn a lot more about SOS on their website, sosoutreach.org, and 926-9292. They've got a ton of different programs, but they are really making a difference and helping influence and shape these young folks' lives. We'll be right back.